everyone. So it's good to meet you, and I know hope you're doing well and fine, and I just don't have a lot to say. Let's get to the point. So today we will be discussing about the hysterectomy, the case that I seen today in the OT, and that was my first live operation that I have seen. So wearing those scrub and watching a surgery with the abdomen was cut, and that was so much a good experience. So I thought that I should explain my experience and my observation of things that I have observed with the hysterectomy case. So I will be discussing totally about the hysterectomy today. So what do you mean by the term hysterectomy? Hysterectomy is the removal of uterus, okay, and by different processes like through vagina or through abdomen. So let's write. It is an operative procedure to remove uterus through vagina or abdomen. Okay, so hysterectomy is done by two processes. Using two ways. Either you can use the vagina part, or you can go through the surgery of the abdomen. Okay, so like in my case today, it was all through the abdomen. So I will be discussing about the abdominal hysterectomy today. So now let's move further, discuss about the type of hysterectomy. So first we will look after the total hysterectomy. So in total hysterectomy, what all things are included? Total hysterectomy includes the uterus plus cervix, the removal of uterus and cervix. In this surgery, that it will be known as the total hysterectomy. We will write removal of uterus with cervix. Okay. Next, we will be talking about subtotal hysterectomy. Okay, total was including a removal of uterus and cervix, and in subtotal, here is the difference. In subtotal hysterectomy, it will be just removal of uterus and not cervix. Okay, now let's move towards the third type, panhysterectomy. So what does panhysterectomy does? Panhysterectomy includes the total hysterectomy plus the bilateral lateral salpingo-oophorectomy. So panhysterectomy includes complete hysterectomy plus bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy. Okay, so I will be showing you in the picture like how does the bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy, that is the panhysterectomy, look like. And in this salpingo-oophorectomy, it includes the uterus as well as the fallopian tube. So it includes uterus plus fallopian tube, and then the complete hysterectomy, that is the cervix as well. Now let's discuss about the fourth type of hysterectomy, and that is the extended hysterectomy. So what do you understand by the extended? Extended means something that has its extended form. So in hysterectomy, that is the basic removal of the uterus, right? So extended hysterectomy, what all things more can it include? Like the removal of uterus, we included fallopian tube, cervix. Then can we include the arteries? Yes. So in this, what all things we will include? Panhysterectomy plus upper cuff of vagina. All things it includes the removal of uterus, fallopian tube, ovary as well. So now let's discuss about the fifth type of hysterectomy, radical hysterectomy. So what does it include? It includes removal of uterus plus fallopian tubes plus ovaries of both sides plus upper 1/3 of vagina plus parametrium plus draining lymph node. Okay, so in radical hysterectomy, it is just like everything you find in the uterus, the side or beside the uterus, everything is almost removed, like including uterus, fallopian tube, ovaries of both the sides, upper 1/3 of vagina, parametrium, and the draining of the lymph nodes. So the last type of hysterectomy, and that is the ultra radical hysterectomy. So what does the ultra radical hysterectomy include? It includes the radical hysterectomy plus the removal of bladder or rectum. It includes what? Radical hysterectomy, plus removal of bladder or rectum. Okay, so let's conclude in a like quickly about the hysterectomy that we discussed till now. In total hysterectomy, that is the removal of the uterus and the cervix. This is the case which I dealt with today. Then that next is the subtotal hysterectomy, which includes the removal of uterus but not cervix. Pan hysterectomy, that is the complete hysterectomy plus bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy, that is including uterus and fallopian tube. Then extended hysterectomy, that is extended part of something. So you will include the pan hysterectomy and the upper cup of vagina. Now let's read about the radical hysterectomy, that is the radical removal of everything, whatever you find in the area of the fallopian of the uterus. So that the removal of uterus, fallopian tube, ovaries of both sides, upper 1/3 of vagina, parametrium, and draining of all the lymph nodes that you find in that area. Now the last one is the ultra radical hysterectomy, which includes the radical hysterectomy plus the bladder or the rectum. Okay, so this is all about the types of hysterectomy. Now let's move fastly towards the indication in India. Like what signs and symptoms you will get from the patient that will indicate you that there is a requirement for the removal of uterus from that patient. That mostly occurs in the childbearing woman. So now let's move towards the indication in India. Number one would be the genital prolapse. So genital prolapse means the bulging out of the genital part, anything that can bulge out. So that can indicate that there is a requirement of hysterectomy, like sometimes uterus comes out or something like that. Genital prolapse. Second is the fibroids. If there is a fibroid in the uterus, adenomyosis. What is adenomyosis? Adenomyosis is the invasive cell growth inside the uterus. Okay, EUB, that is dysfunction uterine bleeding. Then CA cervical, that is the cervical cancer. It is written as CA cervical, or endometrium cancer, cancer of cervical. CA cervical is the cancer of cervical. So these are the indications that the doctor assumed that there is a requirement of hysterectomy in the patient. So now we will be discussing the main step that I saw today, the steps of the hysterectomy, that how it is done, and that would be really going to be very fun part. So steps of hysterectomy, let's go step by step. So first, what will happen? The patient will be anesthesia will be given to the patient. So just give me a moment. I'm just thinking to write the steps first, so that would be a little bit easy for me to explain and to discuss with you people. So I need few moments to write it. I have written the steps of hysterectomy. So what all things we will observe today. First, patient will be anesthetized, okay, and in this the patient will be in the supine position and the parts will be painted and draped. So supine position, that is known as Trendelenburg position. Suppose this is the lower region, so the part will be painted and draped, and then the Pfannenstiel incision is done. Pfannenstiel incision, it is also known as the infraumbilical paramedian or median incision. So what do you get by the infraumbilical paramedian? Means like below the umbilical region, the incision is done. So next would be the abdomen. Abdomen would be opened in layers. So in my case, the transverse section was done. So in that, I just saw the rectus sheath, the rectus muscles, and then just saw the large intestine, and then below that there was the presence of uterus. So then we will open the uterus, and then Doyen's retractor placed in the position. So Doyen's retractor is used to, I think, to differentiate between the particular organ that we have to do, so that the rest of the organs do not get hampered. And then the traction of the uterus is given by valsellum or long artery forceps on either side. So valsellum is an instrument that is used in the traction of the uterus, that is the putting off the uterus from its original position, taking out. So then the traction of uterus given by valsellum or long artery forceps on either side of uterus corners. If ovaries are retained, if we have to, in my case, like the one that I saw today, we have to keep the ovaries. So this was my case where the ovaries were restrained, whereby putting the clamps. Clamps is an instrument. Clamps placed near the cornu of uterus to include the fallopian tube ovarian ligament. So if we want to save, the fallopian tube is not removed and the ovarian ligament is not removed, so the ovary is retained by the use of clamps. Next would be the paired clamps placed in the infundibulopelvis ligament and cut between the clamps, and then suture is done. So paired clamps, whenever the clamp is used, there are two clamps used at a time. So we say that the paired clamps are placed in the infundibulopelvis ligament and there was a cut between the clamps, and the suture was done at that right very moment. And then the round ligament, the broad ligament was cut from both the sides. So next is the uterus. Now everything is cut, all the ligament that were attached to the uterus. So what will be done in the next step? The uterus will be removed out. So then uterus will be pulled forward and make uterosacral ligament prominent. So the uterosacral ligament would be the visible now. Next step would be the vault of the vagina is opened. The vault of the vagina, what is that vault? What do you understand by vault? Vault is the expanded region of the vaginal canal that is present at the end of the vagina. So I hope you have understand the vault of vagina, that is opened by cervico-vaginal junction, and lateral the vaginal angle is closed. So the last step is now the uterus is removed and the abdominal layers are closed. So this is the step. पहले क्या हुआ? Let me explain, give a quick recap. पहले हमने क्या करा कि पेशेंट को एनेस्थीसिया दिया और उसको सुपाइन पोजीशन में लेटाया, दैट इज आल्सो नोन एज ट्रेंडलबर्ग पोजीशन. फिर उस एरिया पे पेंट करा और ड्रेप करा विद द एनेस्थेटिक बेटाडीन यूज करा, ठीक है. फिर नेक्स्ट स्टेप में क्या हुआ? नेक्स्ट स्टेप में उसको इंसेशन दिया गया. इंसेशन का नाम क्या है? पीफेंस्टील इंसेशन. पीफेंस्टील इंसेशन या फिर इंफ्रा अम्बिलिकल पैरामीडियन और मीडियन इंसेशन. फिर उसके बाद इंसेशन दे दिया गया तो एब्डोमेन का लेयर अब खुलेगा, ठीक है. एब्डोमेन का लेयर खुलने के बाद हमें सीधे जाना है यूट्रस पे. यूट्रस हमें मिलेगा, यूट्रस को ओपन करेंगे. फिर उसके बाद हम क्या यूज करेंगे? वी विल यूज दी डोयंस रिट्रैक्टर. डोयंस रिट्रैक्टर उस पोजीशन पे प्लेस किया जाएगा जहाँ पे हमें स्पेसिफिकली ऑपरेट करना है. And then we will use the traction of the uterus given by valsellum. फिर we will try valsellum is an instrument that is used to pick. तो उस uterus को निकाला, मतलब आइडेंटिफाई हुआ, राइट. फिर उसके बाद क्या हुआ? उसको valsellum से थोड़ा सा काटा गया. जो अटैच मतलब अटैच रहते हैं यूट्रस से, लाइक फलोपियन ट्यूब, ओवरीज, इन सबको हमें नहीं निकालना था इस केस में. तो क्या हुआ कि गिवन बाय valsellum और लॉन्ग आर्टरी फोर्सेप्स ऑन ईदर साइड ऑफ द यूट्रस कॉर्नू. फिर क्या हुआ कि अगर ओवरीज को रिटेन करना है हमें तो क्या करेंगे? क्लैम्प्स आर द इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स जो कि पैर में यूज होता है. तो clamps placed on the near the cornu of the uterus that include the fallopian tube and the ovarian ligament. Paired clamps were placed in the infundibulopelvis ligament and cut between the clamp के बीच में कट करा गया and then उसमें suture कर दिया गया at that very moment. Then जो over the round ligament और यूट्रस पे राउंड लिगामेंट और ब्रॉड लिगामेंट जो प्रेजेंट होते हैं उनको भी वो दोनों साइड से कट कर दिया गया क्योंकि हमें यूट्रस रिमूव करना था. फिर यूट्रस को क्या करा गया? जब सब कुछ काट लिया गया तो नाउ इट्स द टाइम टू पुल दैट. सो जब यूट्रस को फॉरवर्ड पुल किया गया तो क्या दिखा हमें कि यूट्रोसेक्रल लिगामेंट जो प्रेजेंट था वो प्रोमिनेंट हो गया. एंड देन द नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज द वॉल्ट ऑफ द वेजाइना इज ओपन. अभी जो वेजाइना के एंड में ए फ्री एरिया है वो ओपन हो गया. तो बाय सर्वाइकल वेजाइनल जंक्शन ठीक है, एंड लेटरल वेजाइनल एंगल जो था उसको क्लोज कर दिया गया। फिर यूट्रस इज रिमूव्ड आउट, और जब यूट्रस रिमूव हो गया तो क्या होगा, फिर जो हमारा एब्डोमेन का लेयर है उसको दोबारा से सूचर कर दिया गया। तो दिस इज द सिंपल प्रोसेस ऑफ द हिस्टेरेक्टोमी दैट इज कवर्ड अंडर 1 hour 30 minutes। तो ऐसे के राउंड में द होल प्रोसेस इज डन। वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द कॉम्प्लिकेशंस दैट द पेशेंट विल फेस जस्ट इमीडिएटली आफ्टर द हिस्टेरेक्टोमी और पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव स्टेज। तो इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में लेट्स डिस्कस। Now let's discuss with the complications that happens just after hysterectomy. Complication. So what could be in the immediate complication? The patient can suffer from hemorrhage or the internal bleeding of the bladder. So let's write hemorrhage, or what can we include? Anesthetic, hazard कि अनेस्थीसिया से उस पेशेंट को कुछ साइड इफेक्ट्स हो रहे, ठीक है, ये इमीडिएट होता है। और फिर क्या, लेट्स रीड अबाउट द पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव केस। सो पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव में व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स वी कैन इंक्लूड? पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव में वी कैन इंक्लूड शॉक, uterine retention, urinary incontinence, DVT, that is deep vein thrombosis, or we can include PE, that is pulmonary embolism. Okay, so these are the like post complication that the patient can face. So I hope that it would have been a really wonderful like discussion between us discussing about the hysterectomy, the types of hysterectomy, the steps that were done, and then the complications that the patient can face. So this is all from my side. Hope that I had made a little bit more clear. So like if you find any error, please let me know in the comment section below, or the best way or more better how can I make it. So that will be really a good help from you people. Hope you have enjoyed the video. Do let me know in the comment section below. For now, bye bye, take care, have a nice day, and all the best for whatever you are learning.